So that's what we have found. And if we stop here, just that's good. However, we could learn more from this answer report and sensitivity report. Let's look at answer report. And answer report says this used Microsoft Excel 16.55 answer report, and the basic information is given, and the setting was this, and this many seconds it took, and they found the answer for that. And what I would like to ask you to pay attention to is this part. So look at now constraints result, and what is important is these are the constraint number that we entered, and we see not binding, binding, not binding, binding. In other words, C3, 4, and 6 and 7 are very important binding constraints. You cannot do anything about it. However, you have leeways with C1 and C2 trade, bond, and minimum gold and construction. So these are not as important as the other binding constraints. That information we can tell. So we have flexibility of changes for C1 and C2. We have slack of 250,000, 1.5 million here, and $550,000 of slack for this one. So whenever you have slack, it's not binding. Whenever you do not have slack, it's binding. Very important, critical constraints. And now let's take a look at sensitivity report. And this is very important. So let's first take a look at the shadow price. And we learned the meaning of shadow price before, right? So shadow price means when you increase, say, $1 in gold constraint, gold stock constraint, you invest more in this gold stock, it will increase about 8 cents in your investment. So the return will increase about 8 cents when you invest $1 into gold stock, right? So that's what it means. So if you want to increase your return more, that means you can do that by investing in gold stock, $1, 8 cents. $100, $8, right? So 8% of return you will have. And the same with construction. However, trade and bonds, although you increase your investment in trade and bonds, you are not going to have any benefit for that. So it's not wise for you to increase your investment in trade and bonds. Rather, it's better for you to invest gold and construction. That's better. And how much can you invest and get this kind of return? Allowed increase says $950,000, right? So up to $950,000 additionally you invest, then you get 8% of return from gold. And again, similarly for construction, about 4% of return you are going to get it. And as you look at, the best shadow price is 0.104, right? So meaning the total investment on your left hand side increases $1, then it will result in 10%, 10.4% of return it will bring to your investment. So overall, increasing your total investment is very good idea. That's what it tells. And how much can I add to my investment? So you are going to have shadow price of 10.4% up to $1 million. You can invest up to one more $1 million, and then you will get 10.4%. So from this result, we see that 6 million will be ideal or very profitable proposition to invest in these 4 portfolios. And I also want to bring your attention to this variable says and objective coefficient. Objective coefficient says, now this is about the change in objective function, right? If you change the objective function, for example, we learned from the sensitivity analysis. Right now, X1 trade category gives you 7% of profit or return, and allowable increase says you can increase up to 4%. What does that mean? So say you can, the return might increase to 8%, 9%, 10%, and up to 11%. Although the coefficient changes to 11%, the solution, right? The solution 750,000, 950,000, 150,000, 180,000, 1.8 million, 1.5 million. These are not going to change. So without changing the solution, you can increase about 4% of the return to X1. That's what it means. In other words, although X1's return changes and increase to 11%, your solution would not change. You don't have to make changes to your portfolio at all, because that's the sensitivity analysis. Also, if it goes down by 69%, it's okay. It will not affect your portfolio decision. That's what it means by that. So the second one, 11% of return you get from X2, that's bond investment, and similarly 4% it may increase, today or tomorrow or next week or next month. It will increase, say, to 15%. However, it will not change this portfolio result, right? So you don't want to change your selection at all because of that. Now you have X3, allowable increase is almost zero, i.e. plus 30, meaning that it's very small number. So if it changes very slightly, say it increases to 0.1900001, then the solution is going to change. That's what it means. However, if it decreases by 8%, in other words, it goes down to 0.11, 11% of return, still, it will not affect your decision. So, you have quite important investment decision for that. So, by looking at this, you can tell, how to make decisions, when to make changes. Those decisions can be made by looking at this sensitivity analysis report as well. So this is how you analyze it, and this one, I hope, helped you to understand how to conduct analysis using Excel Solver. Thank you.